partnership has been formed in Fleetwood to look at creating training and employment opportunities and encouraging the town's economic recovery. Future Fleetwood is made up of representatives from the NHS, local authorities, DWP, housing, business, education and the faith and community sector. The Kickstart scheme provides funding to create new job placements for 16 to 24-year-olds on universal credit who are at risk of long-term unemployment. Well, Steve Newsham from Regenda Homes is involved in the project and he joins me now. Steve, thank you very much for talking to us. How will this scheme help promote employment in the port after COVID?
Well, it's the Kickstart programme. It's a £2 billion funded government project that was launched by the Chancellor at the end of September, October time.
Yeah.
And it aims to get about 250,000 youngsters into work experience, 6-month work experience placements over the next year or so. So around the country, there's about 600,000 young people that are aged 16 to 24 that are on universal credit. And in our county alone, there's about 20,000 youngsters, obviously, sat at home, not working, through no fault of their own. And I think COVID has particularly hit young people, more than most and everything. So through no fault of their own, they're currently unemployed. So we wanted to try and do something about it in Fleetwood. The Regenda Group, we have a training company called the Learning Foundry. That's been operating for 25 years, mainly in Merseyside, because we're a northwest-based organisation. Yeah. So we wanted to bring that across to Fleetwood. And as part of the Future Fleetwood Partnership, we've started recently to talk to businesses about saying, look, this is applied to some of the youngsters in the town. Do you want to participate in the scheme? Because our training company can be the facilitator for that. We can do some training for the youngsters as long as businesses can create 6 months jobs. So there's no cost to the business. All the wages are paid by the government, the government fund and everything. So we just need a commitment from employers across the town to take on youngsters for 6 months. And we're honest in this. We've had a brilliant response. We thought we'd go for about 30, but already just in the first few weeks, we've got commitments from businesses for a whole range of jobs and work experience. So we're up to about 60 now, and it's just growing. So, when I've been talking to the businesses across the town, and some of the managers in those businesses, they just remember back in their day when they were youngsters and they were starting off, and like many communities,
it's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, it is hard, and and many communities across Lancashire, we just want to help our young people out. So it's been a great response from businesses.
Absolutely. I mean, yesterday, as you know, unemployment figures came out, not looking great. How much would you say this scheme is welcomed then by the young people?
Well, I'm talking to the DWP on a daily basis, and the young people have got job coaches, and for a youngster, say a youngster at 21-ish, who's on universal credit, they'll get about £60 in benefits, about £58 in benefits each week. But by doing 25 hours work, which is paid for, as I've said, they can earn up to about 200, £220, something like that. And if the employers want to top the wages up even more, then great. And there's a lot of mental health around at the moment, isn't it? And people don't want to be sat at home. Young people don't want to be sat at home. They've got so much to give, and our motto at our training company is to make talent shine, and that's what we want to do. So we're getting a great feedback, and we can't wait to get going in the new year.
Do you know, I really like that, make talent shine. That's so good. That's so positive as well, isn't it? When it comes to the kind of jobs, what kind of jobs are we talking about here? And, that will be made available, and how soon could they be up and running?
We think they'll probably be. We're just talking with the DWP about the registration, and then how we administer drawing the funds down and then passing them over to businesses. So I think we'll have our first youngsters in jobs round about the beginning of Feb. So
fantastic.
Honestly, it's a cross section. So we're doing some crazy things as well, something that's very very different, which I'll explain in a moment. But the types of jobs are like landscape gardening, the NHS, pharmacy services want to take people on,
wow.
Schools like teaching assistants, admin, IT,
It's a whole variety then, isn't there?
Oh, you're not kidding. Yeah, welding, pipe fitters, accountants. So there's all sorts of businesses. And one that we're really excited about in the partnership is we came up with this idea about some community jobs.
All right.
So we as an housing association, Regenda, we're going to employ probably about 10 youngsters in the town. But then we're going to almost sort of, the job that we're creating is to give back to the community. So all throughout COVID, across Lancashire and our communities, volunteers and charitable organisations have been doing absolutely amazing work. Like food distribution and welfare calls and all that sort of stuff. So we're going to place some of the youngsters that we employ across the charitable organisations to work with them to make sure that sort of they tackle things like loneliness and isolation. And I've got plans for like dog walkers because there's a lot of older people or disabled people that are housebound, they can't get out. They've got pets, which is brilliant for their health. But so, and they're telling us they're struggling to get the dogs, walking the dogs and stuff like that.
Of course,
so it's just, community jobs that the youngsters can get paid for and just gather a whole range of life skills, during the 6 months that they're on work experience. So we're proper excited about it.
Oh, I can tell from your voice as well. Well, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure speaking to you. Before you go, though, Steve, I need to ask you, I've been asking our listeners, if you could be a superhero, who would it be?
Well, my favourite colours are red and blue, and I'm like 56, and Spider-Man was always my hero, sort of how he cast his net and got up them buildings. So I would definitely want to be Spider-Man this.
You're the second Spider-Man that we've got this afternoon.
I didn't hear that. Oh, sorry, I didn't hear that.
It's fine. You could be Spider-Man. I thought when you said red and blue, I thought you were going to go for Superman.
Oh,
I don't know why.
Spider-Man. No, Spider-Man. And I'm off up now to climb up the side of my house.
Go on, then. Thank you very much, Steve. Take care. Have a nice Christmas. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Steve Newsham there from Regenda Homes in Fleetwood talking to us about that project.